Hey everybody, it's Tony George along with Scott Spicer. NFL marquee matchup, and it is a marquee matchup here. A couple of heavyweight coaches going at it, a couple of good football teams. That would be the New England Patriots on the road, laying 3.5 as we tape this. Total 45 against the Ravens. And Scott had mentioned earlier, if you didn't tune in, the 10 and 10, he had mentioned earlier about Lamar Jackson and what Belichick was going to do with him.
Sure.
Well, I'm just going to bring this up. I highlighted this. Bill Belichick has won an NFL record 21 straight versus a rookie or a second-year quarterback. Of course, just one of the many records that Bill Belichick owns. But here, Lamar Jackson, the leading rusher for this team, Scott, I see a lot of imbalance on the the Ravens team, especially offensively. I've also taken a look at their schedule. It's not all that impressive, but neither is New England. But what New England does is when they play somebody they're supposed to beat, they beat their ass.
Most times,
period. And when's the last time we've seen New England favored less than double digits? I think except once this year. Here you got them on the road laying 3.5. Are you a believer in the Patriots despite the schedule?
I think they've got a Super Bowl defense. Not yet sure about that, certain about that offensive line long term, but this team has always been a team that starts out slowly under Belichick and then comes on towards the end of the season and into the playoffs. They're starting out slowly. They're 8-0, Tony. That's how slow they're starting this year. So that defense is making up for a little bit of the offensive woes, I guess you could call it, thus far. You mentioned Belichick's record against first and second year quarterbacks. Now, Lamar Jackson's not quite a first year quarterback. He's in his second year. He's yet to have a full season under his belt. You know, there's 5 rookie quarterbacks. I thought I'd bring this up. 5 rookie quarterbacks that have beaten Bill Belichick. You know who 2 of those guys are? Mark Sanchez and Geno Smith. It does not guarantee a successful career in the NFL.
Neither one can read a defense. That's why they're not in the league.
I always used to say, even at West Virginia, Geno can't read. Don't waste that draft pick, man. And he can't. So it's kind of funny to see some of the quarterbacks that have beaten Belichick, even though he's got that sizzling record. I tell people this all the time. I had a good buddy of mine, a couple of other people I respect, who went against New England last week for the second straight week. And, of course, they lost for the second straight week. This team's on a 46-19 spread run. 46-19 against the spread. You're almost always paying a premium, which shows you how well they do against the number. Why in the world do you want to play against a team that's on a 46-19 spread run? Or a coach that's been there for nearly 20 years who's got a spread record all time of like 58, 59% against the number since he's been at this organization going back nearly 20 years. It's a freight train. I don't stand in front of freight trains, and I know all about them. I grew up in eastern Nebraska. But anyway, I'll tell you what I do like. Harbaugh's 9-1 straight up off a bye, and he's covered a lot of those too. But I don't like what he's doing with Lamar Jackson. I don't blame Lamar Jackson for bringing the ball down and running with it, because a lot of those have been called plays for him to run with the football. Don't blame Lamar Jackson at all, but it's not going to make his career last a whole long time. He's not a huge guy as far as a real thick guy. And if he gets wrapped a couple of times, he could be knocked out like most running quarterbacks. I will say this, Baltimore's pass defense is 26th in the league. Having said that, I'm not crazy about the New England offensive line. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. The Pats do normally rely on their defense on the road. Tony, I'll wrap my side of it up by saying the Pats are on a 24-9 under run on the road. Not crazy about their offense. Love their defense. I think this one stays under.
Well, one thing about it, and you alluded to, you kind of been bitching about Jackson for the last couple of weeks. One week he had 19 rushes, and 13 of those were designed run plays for him, and you were complaining about that. You're not going to do that against this defense. And by the way, one thing about it, too, is in terms of points per possession, they're going to have a problem here because bear in mind, the Patriots defense have 31 sacks and 19 interceptions to date. That's like a year. That's like a great season for most defenses. And if they put that kind of pressure on Jackson, he probably is going to make some errant throws into that secondary. And they are a ball-hawking secondary. I will agree with you, Scott. I think this is a lower scoring game as well. And the total there is 45 as we tape this. Patriots laying 3.5. And just like Scott, I grew up in eastern Nebraska, and I learned not to step in front of freight trains too. So I'm not going to get in front of New England. New England are nothing for me in this one here, but I think it's a good lean on the 45. I'm Tony George. He's Scott Spicer. Another marquee matchup in college football. Check out our 10 and 10. Check out his daily videos, my daily videos, and all the free offerings that we have for you there at DocSports.com.